take the brake off and engage nose wheel steering. That way we can actually steer and taxi the aircraft. Okay, so here we are off runway 8 at Kunnan, and we treat this airfield like sort of an uncontrolled field. There's, when you do your IQT or initial qualification training at the Wolfpack, there is the initial requirement, and it's either at Kunsan where there's ATC, and then we treat this as just a non-towered field for the most part. We'll just call our position in the pattern like you would do at a non-towered field in real life. Okay, so we'll taxi here, and let's just assume that we've been cleared for takeoff. And typically a flight lead will be on the left side, and his wingman, the number 2 guy, will be on his right, but I'm just going to use the center line for purposes of this video. So let's say you get lined up here perfectly with the center line, and we'll stop. Okay, so my call is usually I'll say nose wheel steering off, and I'll hold the brakes down. We'll look for lights. I'll say no lights, and engine up to 80%. So I'll spool it to 80% with the brakes on, and make sure that the engine's operational, that everything's working. I'm not getting any lights. There's no hydraulic fluid leaking. Everything's good to go. So once we're there, I'll say full power, or we'll go up to military power, non-afterburner, and we'll start rolling. Okay, I won't do an afterburner takeoff in this. Usually I'll pull back about 3/4 of the way on the stick, and you see the nose come up, and then as soon as it starts to rise, I'll neutralize it. I'll just let it go neutral right here, and that'll give you a nice kind of just nose wheel up takeoff. And then I'll go gear up as soon as we're up. And we'll accelerate to about 300 knots, and we'll go up to 1,500 feet for the pattern. And usually on this first flight we do a left-hand pattern around the airfield. Alright, so there we are at 1,500 feet, and I'll go ahead and start my left turn here. I overshot my altitude. I was thinking about something else. Yeah, so there's a few calls that we make just to touch up on that, a few communication items. There's no need to call, crosswind, downwind, base leg, or anything like that. We basically just use the standard military calls, and these are probably derived from the Navy. As you notice here, I'm not doing a typical rectangular pattern. It's just an oval shape. It's what they use on carriers. It's what the Air Force uses for the faster jets. It's not practical to do a rectangular pattern because it'll just put you too far out. So it's just one continuous turn to your downwind leg, and then you just level out and maintain 300 knots for the downwind here. Hypothetically, we could do this entire pattern with gear down, but we just it's just for aircraft spacing and separation, and just to make things go a little faster, we do just gear up and fly it at 300 knots. So once you're directly at your 9 o'clock is the landing point, you're going to call a beam. So I'll say, Cowboy 1-1, a beam, gear down, and that's when I'll throw the gear down and make sure that you get 3 green. Alright, so that's just a little bit on flying the pattern, and of course, you'll turn final and land. And that's IQT1 for the Wolfpack. Hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I'll see you guys next time.